No, it won't happen.
Wait.
You know why?
Oh, recording.
Because of recording.
Oh, okay.
Possible.
Hi. Wait, let me move.
Are we live?
Yes, we're live.
What's up?
Yo, what's up?
There is one way. I need to switch this.
Oh no,
over.
it's okay, man.
You sure?
The song is the song. Why can't I speak today?
It's the song. Clipping. Mike, 8:15 in the morning right now. It's Traxx FM's morning show. We hang out with Els and BK and come at 8:15 mornings. Every Fridays, we've got Property on Traxx with the man himself, Gunaprasad Bhupalan, the property guru, executive director, editor of MJ Communications, telling you a little bit about what property is all about and all the little things in between that most people don't know. Well, good morning, Guna. How are you?
Good morning. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yep. And yes, Guna is looking very blue today. So if you want to catch us, we are on Facebook Live right now at Traxx FM Official.
But it's not a sad blue, it's a bright blue.
It's like a happy blue.
It's a happy blue.
Right.
So blue double. Okay. Anyway.
So, what do we have today on the show, Guna?
Well, to be honest, it's always an interesting process, purchasing a house. It's most of the time a collective decision between husband and wife. From the want to buy a house,
Right.
until the final renovation work is completed. Yeah. However, buying a house isn't very easy to do, and you need to be strong in every aspect. Today, we shall discuss secrets you are normally not told when buying a house.
Ooh, secrets.
Yeah. Hope this will help all the lovely couples out there, especially the brand new couples who are so excited in buying your first home.
Yeah.
I hope this few tips here, these few secrets here come handy lah. Yeah. Now, the first thing you got to look at is keep your money where it is. Right, what do I mean by this? It's not wise to make any huge purchases or move your money around 3 to 6 months before buying a new home.
Okay.
Right? You don't want to take any big chances with your credit profile. Banks need to see that you're reliable and they want a complete paper trail so that you can get your best loan possible. Yeah? If you open new credit cards or accumulate too much debt, you're going to have a hard time getting a loan from the bank. Alright? The next thing you got to look at is get pre-approved from your for your housing loan. There's a big difference between a buyer being pre-qualified and a buyer who has a pre-approved mortgage.
Right.
Right? Anybody can get pre-qualified for a loan.
Okay.
Right? Getting pre-approved means a lender has looked at your financial information and they've let you know how much you can afford and how much they will lend you.
It's pretty much like how you go for an interview for your new workplace. You
Yes.
may get called for the interview, but you may not actually get
Correct.
the job, right?
Correct.
Okay.
You're called for the first interview. Once you make it to the probably second or third interview, you know for a fact you've got the job, and it's a negotiation process after that. So it's similar to that as well. So getting pre-approved is much sought after. You have to look at getting pre-approved.
Okay.
All right. Being pre-approved will save you a lot of time and energy, so you are not running around looking at houses you can't afford. It also gives you the opportunity to shop around for the best deal and the best interest rates. All right. Now, next thing you got to look at is avoid a border dispute. It's absolutely essential to get a survey done on your property so you know exactly what you're buying. Right? Knowing precisely where your property lines are may save you from a potential dispute with your neighbors. Right? Also, your assessment fee is likely based on how much property you have. So it's best to have an accurate map drawn up.
You can get that map from
MPSJ,
Okay.
MBBJ,
Right.
all the municipals.
All right.
You can get your map up.
Okay.
Right? So you know exactly what you own. Right? And you don't have that problem parking your car in front of your neighbor's house
Yep.
or in his lane. End of the day, if he wants to move his car, it's unnecessary.
Correct.
So find out what your jurisdictions are, and live by your jurisdictions.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Next thing you got to know is don't try to time the market. This is something that a lot of people do. Mistakes people make. Yeah. Don't obsess with trying to time the market and figure out when is the best time to buy.
Right.
Oh, right. So it's like, like some people would say, oh, now is not a good time to buy.
Yeah.
Something
Why
like
obsess
that.
over that?
Right. Okay.
Right. Trying to anticipate the housing market is impossible. Right? Because we're in, even though we're in a cyclic, property market is cyclic. You know, it's every 18 years things turn around, but it doesn't happen on the dot.
Right.
All right.
And does that cycle as well? Does it really affect the property prices?
It does to a certain extent, but like anything else around as well, what goes up has to come down. What goes down has to come up.
Definitely.
All right. But you can't predict exactly when it's going to fall or when it's going to climb. You know, you can give an indication, but you can't be on the dot when it's going to happen, because it's not something that it's not like turning on a tap. I turn on a tap, water comes out.
Right.
You know, it could be that the tap has got a filter. Therefore, before the water comes out, it goes through the filter, so it's taking a little bit longer to come out.
Right.
Yeah, I hope that analogy works here.
The time fluctuates, basically.
Yeah, it does. You know.
All right.
Yeah. So as I said, it's almost impossible to anticipate the housing market. Yeah, the best time to buy is when you find your perfect house and you can afford it. All right. Real estate is cyclic, like I said earlier. It goes up and it goes down and it goes back up again. So if you try to wait for the perfect time, you're probably never going to buy your property.
So there is actually no perfect time.
There is no perfect time. And a lot of people are going to get upset with this. A lot of property gurus out there are going to get upset with what I'm saying because they predict.
Right.
But I honestly, being in the property industry for more than a decade now, I tell you there is no absolute time.
Okay.
As long as you can afford it, because property is an investment.
Yep.
And it's an investment that is not going to fail. It very seldom it fails. So if you can afford it and you like the property, purchase it.
Take that leap of faith.
Take it. All right. Next thing is, bigger isn't always better. Right? Everyone's drawn to the biggest, most beautiful house on the block. Right? But bigger is usually not better when it comes to houses.
Right.
There's an old saying in real estate: don't buy the biggest, best house on the block. Right? The largest house only appeals to a very small audience, and you never want to limit potential buyers when you got to resell. Your home is only going to go up in value as much as the other houses around you. If you pay 500,000 ringgit for a home and your neighbors pay 250,000 ringgit to 300,000 ringgit, your appreciation is going to be limited. Sometimes it is best to buy the worst house on the block.
Wow.
Yeah, because the worst house per square foot always trades for more than the biggest house, and you can renovate it.
Yeah, you can always do your own modifications along the way.
Exactly.
So I guess this is the only time in life where bigger isn't always better, right?
Oh, true.
Right.
Well said.
Fair enough. Well, I think we're going to take a very short song break right now. And then
Alright.
when we come back, we'll still get back into the secrets that you are normally not told to do when you're buying a house.
Awesome.
This is Property on Traxx.
resell later when you want to move on, it's going to be so difficult.
Unless you want to rent it out to another single person.
But
who
that's the
needs a
thing, you
place
see,
like that.
even that, when you want to rent it out, your market becomes so niche. You know, you're instead of being able to rent out to this group of people, you're actually limiting yourself to rent out to this group of people.
Which is only the single people.
Only the single people. You know, and purchasing it is even worse, because when you want to sell it, imagine that.
Right.
You know, so that's a mistake that a lot of singles make.
What about renting a place out like a studio apartment?
I wouldn't dispute that.
Okay.
Renting, I feel, is the best solution for anyone who is thinking of buying a house.
Right.
Rent first and get used to that payment. And remember this, if you're renting for 1,500 ringgit, put aside 2,500 ringgit
Okay.
on a monthly basis. 1,500 for your rental, and another 1,000 bucks, 500 ringgit or 1,000 ringgit into a savings.
Okay.
Get used to paying a little bit more, because once you pay your mortgage, you're going to be paying a little bit more.
Right. Okay, we're just about to come back live on radio as well.
Yeah.
So you can catch the interview right now on Facebook Live, and we'll be back in a bit. Else want to intro?
No. Hey, good morning. 8:25 a.m. on the clock right now, and of course, if you're just tuning in right now, we've got Guna every Friday to talk about property on Traxx. Yes, we're talking about some secrets you need to know before purchasing your first house.
Yes, we've spoken a little bit about keeping where your money it is, and also get pre-approved for your home loans. Avoid a border dispute. Don't try to time the market, and also bigger isn't always better.
Correct. Now, next is avoid sleeper costs.
Sleeper costs.
All right. The difference between renting and home ownership is the sleeper costs.
Okay.
Most people just focus on their mortgage payment, but they also need to be aware of the other expenses such as property taxes, utilities, and home ownership association dues. All right. New homeowners also need to be prepared to pay for repairs, maintenance, and potential assessment tax increases. All right. Make sure your budget for sleeper costs so you'll be covered and won't risk losing your house.
Okay. So
Right.
sleeper costs are like one of those hidden costs.
Hidden
that
costs
You
you
don't
don't
actually think about.
you don't think about, you
Okay.
don't realize, but
Right.
it's there.
Okay.
Right? And it can come knocking at your door at any given time, and you are like, oh my god, what do I do?
And
right
it
now?
slowly accumulates if you don't realize it,
Exactly.
right?
Right, can
Exactly.
you give an example of like a sleeper cost
Tax,
tax?
assessment tax,
Right.
assessment cost. You don't realize that you have to pay an assessment, but on a 6 monthly basis, you have to pay an assessment. Every homeowner has to pay an assessment, and if you don't pay it, it accumulates, and suddenly a bill is thrown at your front door,
Right.
and it's for thousands of
And
ringgit.
some of them have penalties where there's
Yep.
percentages and then you got to add up.
Hey,
to the
penalty
final.
is not so bad.
Right.
They'll come and seal your house.
Oh, okay.
When they seal your house, and the new ruling is they can take things from inside your house to compensate.
Okay.
So you don't want to get into that.
Avoid those sleeper costs.
Yeah. You're buying a house, not dating it. Remember that. Right? Buying a house based on emotions is just going to break your heart. Right? If you fall in love with something, you might end up making some pretty bad financial decisions. Right? There's a big difference between your emotions and your instincts. Going with your instincts mean that you recognize that you're getting a great house for a great value. Going with your emotions is being obsessed with the paint color or the backyard. Yeah, it's an investment, so stay calm and be wise.
And plus, you can always change it later on if you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't get emotional. I always say this to everyone. Purchasing a home is an investment. Purchasing a house is an investment. Treat it as an investment.
So you would say use your brains more than your heart.
Definitely. Don't use
Okay.
your heart at all. And if you're going to look at a place, take a third party along.
Okay.
A third party will have his head screwed on better than your head
And
screwed
you'll see
on.
it from a different angle, of course.
Totally different angle. Alright? Give your house a physical.
Okay.
Would you buy a car without checking under the hood?
Nope.
Of course you wouldn't. Hire a home inspector.
Okay.
It'll cost about 1,000 ringgit probably, but could end up saving you tens of thousands. Right? A home inspector's sole responsibility is to provide you with information that you can make a decision as to whether or not to buy. Right? It's really the only way to get an unbiased third-party opinion. If the inspector does find any issues with the home, you can use it as a bargaining tool for lowering the price of the home. It's better to spend the money up front on an inspector than to find out later you have to spend a fortune on repairs.
Right.
All right. The secret science of bidding. Your opening bid should be based on two things: what you can afford because you don't want to outbid yourself, right? And what you really believe the property is worth. Make your opening bid something that's fair and reasonable, and it's going to totally, it's not going to totally offend the seller, right? A lot of people think they should go lower the first time they make a bid. It all depends on what the market is doing at the time, right? You need to look at what other homes have gone through in your neighborhood, what they were selling at. You got to do your research before you actually open your bid. Check and see what the check with real estate agents of the area.
Right.
Speak with some real estate agents; they will give you a better understanding of this. Right? Stock your neighborhood. Right? Before you buy, get the lay of the land.
Okay.
Drop by in the morning, drop by at noon, in the evening, at night. Many home buyers have become completely distraught because they thought they found the perfect home, only to find out the neighborhood wasn't for them.
Right.
Drive by the house at all hours of the day to see what's happening in your neighborhood,
Right.
or your new neighborhood. Do your regular commute from the house to make sure it is something you can deal with on a daily basis, because you are going to be dealing with it on a daily basis.
Especially looking up for the traffic
Correct.
situations.
Yeah. And find out how far it is to the nearest grocery shop, and other services, utilities, amenities, and everything. Even if you don't have kids, research the schools, because it affects the value of your home in a big way.
Right.
If you buy a house in a good school district versus bad school districts, even in the same town, the value can be affected as much as 20%.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are 10 tips, 10 secrets that people don't normally tell you. So let's hope that this actually helps people out there.
Alrighty.
Right, so if you're thinking of getting yourself a new house with your partner or with with your spouses, well, basically 10 secrets you are normally not told when buying a house. And if you want to catch this, well, we have a Facebook Live going on at Traxx Official with Guna.
Yep, and another disclaimer is when Guna said stop the neighborhood, please don't sit in your cars and watch your neighbors, okay? That's wrong.
That's scary.
This has been another episode of Property on Traxx with the man Guna Prasad, the property guru, executive director and editor of MJ Communications. A little bit about property for you, and as Els mentioned it, if you want to catch this interview, it's on Facebook at Traxx FM Official. You can find the video over there.
Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Nice, made it, huh?
Yes. 1 minute extra, but it's okay.
Sure, it's okay.